we like to flex. Bust down, bust down, bust down. AMG, no bust now. Amiri jeans, SB dunks with a...
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome you to another installment of Madden Ultimate Team. There's been a lot of talk leading up to this matchup, and it's finally here. But can it live up to all the hype?
Off we go from Denver. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Former Heisman winner leading them out, the two-time Pro Bowler in his first 3 seasons, the electric Kyler Murray. Right to the air, here's Murray. And incomplete to open things up.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Murray. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Room here to run. And all the way home for the Broncos score. George Kittle, 74 yards. And the Broncos go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tiny 2-play drive that time. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Reed opts for the touchback. So here come the Ravens now ready to get the football for the first time. Former Heisman winner leading them out, the 2-time Pro Bowler in his first 3 seasons, the electric Kyler Murray.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed down the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They fake the handoff, now Murray. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Flush to his right, and that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On the return, Johnson. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll start the drive with Elliott. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And some room to run now. There's the stiff arm. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. Huge play there for Denver. 53 yards. Pretty good yards after the catch there on that crossing route. Is a crossing route good for a quarterback because the receiver's coming across his line of vision?
They love those kind of throws. And how many times have you seen any of what we call an in-breaking route? Quarterback really turns it loose, doesn't he? Has a lot more confidence because he can see the play right in front of him.
First carry for the Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 10 more there and another first down. So the first carry of the game under the belt for Emmitt Smith. And, of course, in his career, over 18,000 rushing yards, the all-time leader.
He can probably rest easy for a while without people chasing that number down. He's going to stay at the top because everyone's flinging it around instead of running it. We're going to need a real running back renaissance and an emphasis on the ground game to put that record in jeopardy. Is anyone even close right now?
Frank Gore about 6,000 away, and then AP 7,000 away still around there.
Wow, that's a lot of yards to make up. And Emmitt Smith feels pretty good about the number he posted, 18,355 yards.
There's Murray. Touchdown! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No run back here for Reed, so this will come out to the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing now is Murray. And this one incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On play action, it's Murray. He's got his tight end, Anthony Ferkser. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Johnson on the return. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense now set to go. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. All right, Charles, quick Emmitt Smith story. You've heard of the Madden video game, right?
I have heard of the Madden video game, well, no doubt about it.
The legend goes that Coach Madden said players used to come up to him all the time and complain that their ratings were too low. The only person, though, that came up and said, hey, mine's too high, Emmitt Smith.
You're kidding.
How can you rate Emmitt Smith too high? That's the question.
Boy, talk about humble. That's taking modesty to a new level.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Murray now. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's that's shocking. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. On that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They moved it a combined 33 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They've moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Murray going to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Kyler Murray taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
After right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule. Guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Johnson to return it. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Murray now on 1st down. He's got him in, complete. And all the way home for the Broncos score. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's third and long. Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. Dangerous spot for them to call for that. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards of punt so far as this one's away. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And they will take over first and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They'll start out on the ground with Emmett. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football.
Gets through and now an opening. He's got room at the 30. And able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of... Boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Got a man, it's Johnson, end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. a clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as they'll get this to about the 23. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the gun, Murray. And he's got the hook up for the first time with Herman Moore. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. First down, Murray. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here's Murray. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Back to throw it, Murray. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and it is 42-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Reed opts for the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense, through the shutout, Adam, I think they worked